Okay. Okay. Well, we had a little technical difficulty there, and so now we're back here in the bottom half of the second inning. A 2-0 lead for Denver. So far so good for the Royals. No. That one is out of play. So here's Farias at the plate, the third baseman. 2-0 Denver here in the bottom half of this second inning. Pretty good third baseman right here. And a snap throw over, and that was a little bit closer. As been batting for the first time, a New York native. Played at College of Old Westbury back in New York, and that's a foul off at the plate. 2-0 lead for Denver. So it's the second inning of work for Gabe Rivera. He's in a real battle with the right-handed hitting third baseman. 2-0 Denver here in the bottom of the second. The pitch in the air and out of play to the left side. Team Argentina. So Farias be heading down, work out with Team Argentina, just continuing to tell you about all the tremendous talent that this team has and the opportunity of playing in adult baseball leagues like this, and being on this team has just provided so many of these guys a chance to continue their baseball career. The pitch is high. Here's the throwdown on the steal attempt. Not in time. Rediger is in. So the Royals looking to score another run here. They've already put 2 up on the board. Rediger reached first base by reaching on an error by the San Diego first baseman. And that one is off the hands of the bat. Fouled it off again. Another 2-strike count coming up here to, as we mentioned, a very talented third baseman here. Rediger heading back to the bag at second base. The 2019 Msbl Las Vegas Fall Kickoff. Las Vegas Kickoff Classic. Thank you. Yeah, and I didn't realize this was a 2-week event. Yeah. Rivera with the long look in. He's ready, and another 2-strike pitch, and that's inside. Full count. It's been a long inning for Rivera, and he's only faced 3 guys. And a line drive base hit out into left field. Here comes the runner in Reddingen around third, and he will score. And just like that, Denver leads it 3-0. All smiles down there at first base. That's going to bring up David Walker, the right fielder, and he had an outstanding game in the first of the two games here on APN. Was on base the first 3 times he came to the plate, 2 of which started run-producing innings, including a big 4-run inning after Denver had fallen down 1-0. They scored 4 times in the third, 2 more in the 4th inning, and it was all started by Walker. Outside ball 1, eventually beating the Las Vegas Dirtbags 9-4. Denver has outscored their opponent through the first 3 games of this tournament. Of course, this is a semifinal game, 51-8. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Runner goes, and no chance. He's going to be in safe sliding, and another stolen base for the Royals. So Ben made that look easy. The catcher bobbled the pitch and never got a throw off. So with 1 out, another runner in scoring position here for the Royals in this home half of the 2nd inning. And that one just missing off the outside part of the plate. David Walker at the plate. He was drafted by the Chicago White Sox. Quick throwback, not in time. He was drafted by the Chicago White Sox in the 31st round and currently lives in Mesa, Arizona. He attended Grand Canyon University, which is also in Phoenix. Former Lope, short for antelope, ball 4, and Walker is on again. He's one of the fastest. I don't know, he might be the fastest guy on the team. So now Ben Bracoli at the plate, and Ben had a nice game in Game 1 today. Helped leading this team to a 9-4 victory over the Las Vegas Dirtbags. That's inside ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Bracoli. I always feel guilty when I do. This is probably the 2nd or 3rd game I've called with the Dirtbags as one of the teams. And it sounds like I'm putting them down, but that's really their nickname. They are called the Dirtbags. They get dirty. That's another name for bases, Dirtbags. And this one gets away. Late break by the runner. Throw down. I don't think they got him. Yep, he got in there. That's a good call by the second base umpire. So now runners are at 2nd and 3rd. That'll be a wild pitch or a pass ball. We'll have to see what Red gives us the official word on that. I was thinking it was a pass ball myself. Wow. Albert Coley never played high school baseball. He's got an artificial hip, and he just lined one into right field for a base hit. One run is in, and it will be station to station for the Royals, but they now lead it 4-0 on an RBI hit by Ben Bracoli. And now we're going back to the top of the order in left-handed hitting DH, Dom Piazza, with runners at first and third. First pitch popped him up, a mile high, backing out of play. It's 0-1. So a 4-0 lead for Denver here, bottom half of inning number 2. Runners at first and second, still only one man out. Change up in there for a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes on Piazza. We mentioned a product of Notre Dame Prep in Scottsdale, Arizona. And the runner will take second base. That'll be a defensive indifference. As we mentioned, he was drafted by the Diamondbacks going all the way back to 2006. So second and third, one out, 2 strikes on Piazza, and here's the pitch. And that one is lined down the right field line, base hit. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score without a throw, and the Royals are pouring it on here in the home half of the second inning. A 2-run single by Piazza, and it is now 6-0 Royals. That is going to be all for Gabriel Rivera, as we mentioned, and you got to give him somewhat of a pass. He threw 14 innings yesterday. So we got a new pitcher on the mound, and we'll tell you about him here in just a moment. So this guy didn't go very long. 1 1/3. Six, right? Okay. 1, 2, 3. He gave up 4 hits. 6 runs, all earned. Nope, one of them is unearned. And 19. I was looking for their roster. It kept blowing away. So Garcia, he didn't give me first names. Okay, Garcia is the new pitcher now for San Diego, who now find themselves down 6-0 to the highest run-producing team in this tournament. Next up for Denver is going to be the shortstop Trappist, who flied to left field back in the first inning. We're only in the second inning. Left-handed hitting shortstop. And Garcia having a little trouble finding the strike zone here against Trappist. San Jose area with the UC Davis, and he draws the walk. And now first and second, and getting into the meat of the lineup here as center fielder Shawn Smith comes to the plate. Well, I'll tell you what, this could get ugly real quick. There's still only one out. Smith flied to right field back in the first. That was just an inning ago. Well, the game started at 5:30, so we played an inning and a half in 40 minutes. This has been a long, long inning right here. And that ball hits Shawn Smith, and that loads the bait. Whoa, hold on a minute. He is not giving Smith first base, and I'd have to disagree with that call. I know he didn't make a great effort to try to get out of that, or the fact of the matter is he might have been over the plate. He might have been lunging over the plate, and that's why maybe he didn't grant him first base. I think Shawn would rather hit anyway. And a fly ball way back into deep right, but this is going to stay in the ballpark. Nope. Home run. Shawn Smith, I'll tell you what, that right fielder really decoyed me. A long 3-run home run, and it's 9-0 Denver. Boy, I'll tell you, this offense, lighten it up here. Second inning, 8 runs. And now Saleo, the catcher, coming up for the second time. So Sloan fly ball out back in the first inning. I'll tell you, the ball is really carrying out to right field. First pitch to Sloan. That's high, ball 1. Bottom of the second inning, Denver, and another knock. This time belongs to the cleanup hitter, a base hit. He went the other way with it. And the inning continues with 1 out. Sloan Salia at first base. And we have batted around. They'll close the book out on Rivera. He goes an inning and a third, gives up 4 hits and 7 runs, 6 earned. Only 1 of the 8 runs in this inning are unearned as of right now. And here's Cody, who started the inning off with a long home run to right field. And he rifles one into right, and that's going to be caught. Nice catch. So Cody was robbed on a nice play, a sprawling play out there. He'll courtesy run for Sloan, where Sloan is the starting catcher for the Denver Royals. And now Chambers. Chambers had a home run in the first game today. That game was called due to time in the bottom of the 7th inning and a 9-4 victory. Of course, both these teams, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, undefeated at 3-0, but San Diego hurting a little bit. They lost their ace pitcher. He got injured running the bases. Their starting catcher had to go back home due due to, I think, work related. And so they're without their starting catcher and they're without their best pitcher. And not to take anything away from Denver, they're pounding the ball here. This one is hit into right center field, a base hit. That'll put them at first and third, so Chambers has a base hit. And the hit parade continues for the Denver Royals. 9 hits in total now for the Denver Royals, 8 of those here in this inning alone. An inning in which they have scored 8 times. Still only one man out. First and third occupied. And this one gets away from the catcher. This will allow the runner from first to advance. So Chambers in scoring position as Denver is trying to open this thing wide here in the bottom of the second inning. It's been a long inning. Well, that is in the left center field, a base hit, and 2 runs are going to come across. It's 11-0. So Redinger with a 2-run single to left center field. Tenth hit of the ball game for the Denver Royals. Ben Farias had an RBI single back in the... Oh, that was in this inning. That was about 25 minutes ago. The outstanding third baseman. Brian, were you saying that he is trying out for Team Argentina, or is he's already qualified for it? So that's pretty impressive. And an exhibition, talking about Ben Farias, the batter at the plate, third baseman. As Team Argentina had an exhibition game with Team Brazil. And he cue shots this one out into deep right field, and this ball is going to be caught. And apparently that there was 2 outs. So we are heading to the third, and it is now 11-0 Denver. And we'll have more from Las Vegas, Nevada as you get a look at the lights. 11-0 Denver. Yeah, yeah. He had a nice and he had a impressive. Jeff Lowry back here from Burkholder Field. We're in Henderson, Nevada for the 2019 MSBL Las Vegas Kickoff Classic, and it's all Denver. They are the home team. We're in the top of the third, and they lead it 11-0 with Seth Blair on the mound. Now, they were at the beginning of the broadcast, we had talked about Blair. Hopefully, as Perez comes to the plate, Perez, Ramos, and Rivera, the scheduled three. They were hoping to maybe get 5 or 6 out of Blair, who struck out the side in the second inning, and that was about 25 minutes ago, maybe 30 minutes ago. Perez batting for the first time here in the top of the third inning. His team is down 11-0, but I think if things continue to go this well, as Blair gets a strikeout for out number 1 here in the third, and he has struck out 4 in a row. I don't think we're going to see too much Seth Blair the rest of the night. Maybe maybe 2 more innings. So a lot of it depends upon Seth Blair, and it ultimately is more his decision than the manager's decision. As Ramos digging in for the first time for this San Diego team, who trail it 11-0 here in the top of the third inning. Good fastball in there for a strike. I guess the other, if you just throwing it out there for conversation's sake, I mean, would you like to save a few bullets in his arm? Would you even consider bringing him back, as he has just struck out another batter? Okay. So he would not come back tomorrow because he's got to get on a flight or drive back to Phoenix. Work-related situation. So assuming this 11-run lead holds up for Denver, who would we have starting tomorrow in the championship? Okay. Okay. So Zeke De Leon, swing and a miss. This is Rivera at the plate. So Zeke De Leon will start tomorrow. And that's fouled off, and Seth Blair is 1 strike away from striking out the side in back-to-back innings. He has struck out 6 through 2 2/3 so far. De Leon, who will get the start in the championship game tomorrow if this 11-run lead holds up, trying to get a little redemption. He had a championship start down in the MSBL World Series last year. That's strike 3 called. No chance. And the third inning, the top of the third inning, is in the books. What about Seth Blair? He is throwing BBs, probably pushing 90 miles per hour here, and we are going to the bottom of the third inning with Denver leading San Diego 11-0. Jeff Lowry back here. We go to the bottom half of inning number 3. You're getting a look at the new San Diego pitcher, Royce. And he'll be facing David Walker, who has been such a catalyst for this Denver Royal offense here today. The first game of this doubleheader, which was the last game of round-robin play. He got on base his first 3 times and helped his team en route to a boatload of runs early in the game. And here, 11-0 in favor of the Denver Royals. As we go to the home half of the 3rd inning, Walker will lead things off. He'll be followed by Broccoli. And barring an addition to the bottom of the order, back up to Dom Piazza, who led the bottom of the 1st inning off with a long home run to right field, and the Royals have hit 2 today. Here's a looper, center field. This should drop in, and it will, a base hit. So Walker with that tremendous speed. He had a couple of stolen bases in the first game of the doubleheader, and now he is aboard to lead things off here for Denver. Well, the hit parade continues for this Denver-based team. Broccoli had an RBI single his first time up, and his only time up. That was last inning in an 8-run second inning for San Diego. So a runner at first base. I would imagine with an 11-0 lead, even though Walker a great base stealer, they're holding him on. I would imagine that he will not be stealing with an 11-0 lead. Home runs by Cody Bishop, Dom Piazza, Redinger, a 2-run hit, 3-run home run. Excuse me, I forgot Shawn Smith hit a home run. We've had 3 homers, and that ball gets away. Walker will head down to second base. That'll be a throwing error on the pitcher. Yeah, Shawn Smith had the 3-run home run. Piazza, a leadoff home run. Had 2 inning leadoff home runs. And this one's going to skip away from the catcher, and the runner will advance 90 feet to third. Yeah, I believe Mike Dole is going to join us up here in our broadcast booth. Mike, who played the earlier game, he played first base in the earlier game, and is going to join us up here momentarily. So a runner at third base, an 11-0 lead for Denver, and here's a line drive in the right. It's going to hold up, should be deep enough to score the run. And the throw comes in, and it's not in time, and Denver leads at 12-0. So that'll be a sacrifice fly for Broccoli. That's his second RBI of the game. Denver has pounded out 11 hits in this game. They have more runs than hits. That's out number 1 here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Dom Piazza has had a great day at the plate, or at least in this game. He has homered. He has driven in 2 with a base hit. He has scored 2, 3 RBIs. And he grounds 1 up the middle. They had the shift on. The shortstop makes the play. Good job. 2 down. So a nice job by the shortstop of the San Diego ABLs. That's an amateur baseball league out there. So 2 down in the inning. Nice play by Vega. He had to field that ball on the right field side of second base. And now the shortstop Trappist, a switch hitter, as he bats for the first time from the right side. He started the game earlier today against the Las Vegas Dirtbags, a 9-4 victory. Both teams are 3-0. And a bouncing ball to the right side where the second baseman fields and throws him out. A pretty good inning, even though they give up one run. A throwing error and a wild pitch led the way, and we're heading to the top of the fourth inning. We'll have Mr. Dole with us momentarily. This is Denver Royals baseball, and they lead it by a score of 12-0. Okay, I have a microphone for you. Maybe. It's not tangled up.
Tell me what you need. Nice meeting you finally.
Yes, nice to meet you. There we go. If you want to come over this side, yeah.
I was fucking with Zeke when he was with you guys. After he with the Rocky Mountain Royals. And like said shit or something on that.
Give me a little mic test in your broadcast voice.
Mic check, mic check.
Are you going to hold it? Hold it. Yeah, about right there, yeah.
Mic check.
Keep going.
Mic check, mic check.
Oh, you know what?
Is it on? Is my thing on?
Yeah, let's.
Check, 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 check.
Okay, we're back here, top of the fourth inning. And let's see if we can pod you up just a little bit. So, Mike Dole out of Boulder, Colorado.
No, San Diego.
Oh, San Diego. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to read this. Oh, that's Jeremy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You were were you on a two-time PCL champion team?
Yeah,
Okay.
Southwestern College in San Diego, one of the JUCOs down there. We were Pacific Coast Conference both years I played there. My sophomore year, we had the #1 ranked defense, and we had a pretty amazing team there. We went 23-2 in the league, and I ended up losing in the Final Four. California plays their own state, so it was pretty good. And all of us in the starting lineup. We all went to a D1 school. Yeah, I went to University of Kansas out of there, so it helped me pay for school. So baseball's been good for my life.
All right, so we're getting set to go here in the top of the fourth inning. That was a 10-run second inning.
Yeah, that was a long one. We didn't believe it was only the second, but I had $5 on Chambers was going to make the first and third out that inning. But he roped off a hit out of there and saved himself.
Yeah.
Embarrassment.
Now, how much would that have cost him had he done it?
Well, I was going to win 10. I wasn't betting him, but it would have. Nice play.
Oh my goodness! What a job down there at first base.
Well, looked like our manager made the right move, pulled me out and put him in there. Makes the play down there, Chambers. What a baby.
He's like a bad penny for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was a tremendous catch.
It was great. Great play. Found that fence.
And that was 6-3. We're trying to catch up with the score sheet, the online application. So here's Guillen. So Escamilla gets robbed on a great play down there at first base. And I feel really good the fact that we got it on camera because there's trees and fencing and poles and a dugout down there, and it actually had a line of sight. So that's something he can look back on later and enjoy. Oh, okay. Well, a couple of radar guns on Seth Blair, the starting pitcher here for the Royals. And he's been 93, 94 after kind of warming up. He was in the mid-80s, high 80s early on.
Yeah, I just saw in the second inning, their second batter came up. Even the umpire had commented to me, man, he threw some gas on that black, and it looked mid-90s. And I know last inning he had when they threw up, then we thought might have been the hardest ball he threw tonight, and it was some gas. And then he breaks you off a slider and embarrasses everybody. So I mean, that's just not fair. 93-mile-an-hour slider with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That's ridiculously hard to achieve any kind of contact.
So quickly, 2 outs here for Denver. For the Denver defense. And San Diego will now send up their third place hitter. He's 1 for 1. He's got the only hit. He's the only base runner of the ballgame. And he swings and he misses. This is Vega, who made a nice play out at shortstop in the bottom half of the third inning. Well, what's your experience been like with this Denver Royals team? Tell us a little bit behind the scenes and what it's meant for you.
Well, a couple years ago, I got to meet Brian, and I grew up with Ben Bricoli, number 22. We've known each other since we were 4. So he kind of brought me into the fold. I'm one of the older guys on the team. We don't have to talk about how old that is, but I'm up there. I could be a couple of these guys' dads. We act like it sometimes. We got to make sure they have belts and shoes and all their stuff together and here on time. But Brian runs a great organization here with these guys. I mean, it gives a lot of these kids some exposure. Me and Benny are some of the older guys on the team. We got a couple guys in their early 30s, mid-30s, like Smitty out there. We've got a lot of experience growing up in and around the game, and we got a lot of life experience. And some of these kids, I hate to say it, but they need to grow up a little bit sometimes. So it's good that we get to stay young and hang around with them, and we get to give them some, pointers and stuff that we get to do with them is pretty great. And it's really great for these kids, and they like it. And this is a real well-run team, and their job is to go out there and play baseball and have fun, and we're all friendly, and it's just great. This is just a unique thing that I'm lucky enough to be a part of still at my age, to be able to play with these guys at this level. And there's some amazing players, and there's a lot of good kids we have on this team, and the camaraderie is amazing. I mean, it's just been really great, and it's good to see all these guys. They all buy in, and they all love it, and it's really an honor to be able to play with these kids. They're amazing ball players and amazing young men.
Well, Seth Blair has struck out 9 in the 4 innings, and I would imagine that was probably his last inning.
Yeah, there's no reason to waste him right now. I mean, we're up by 1 million, and he's throwing gas, and we can get some guys in there, fill some innings, and they're going to be just as good. So it's these guys. I feel bad for these guys out on the other side of the ball against us right now, because we're raking the ball, and we got some good defense, good pitching going, so we're good.
So it looks like maybe Mitch Lampson will come in relief. We might see another player or two out on the mound, depending on how much time. I was wondering how much time we had. We started at 5, so we've only been playing for about an hour and 10 minutes. That 10-run inning seemed like it took forever.
We were in the dugout. I mean, we were trying to piece back who made the out. He came back to Chambers, and then he was up again, and we're like, really? He's like, that was my first out that inning? I was like, yeah, man. He says it's still only the second inning.
We lost track of the outs.
I knew there was one. I knew it was Chambers. That was the only thing I knew.
Well, here's a guy coming up to the plate who hit a big 3-run bomb in that 10-run inning in the second, and the center fielder. This is a guy that I guess you're pretty lucky to have this guy roaming center field for you.
Oh, yeah. He's he gets great jumps on balls. He's one of the rocks in the dugout. He's one of the older guys too. I mean, not as old as I am, but everybody looks up to him. He's got plenty of baseball experience that everybody can learn from. I mean, he's an amazing player. Run around in center field, he gets great jumps, and we've got a speedy outfield with him and Walker out there. Man, there's nothing that's going to touch down on the ground. I mean, those guys fly around, they get great jumps, and it's just impressive to watch some of these guys, man. I might be dating myself, but I don't remember any guys being this good when I played back then. But it's just a whole different ball game.
And that one's hit down to third. And the throw brings the first baseman off the bag, and so here we go again. Denver with a 12-0 lead, and Smith is aboard. That'll be an error on the third baseman. And it looks like, Sloan is going to go ahead and bat for himself. I thought they were going to pinch hit for him for a second. And I'm like, well, I don't think he would like that very much.
No, sir. He likes to swing it.
He likes to swing it. He's driven in 12 runs through the first 3 games. He's 1 for 2 here today. He's 8 for 12 on the tournament.
That's a ridiculous stat.
Picking up where he left off last fall down in Phoenix.
Yes, sir. He was swinging a hot bat there, too.
And he hits a high fly ball out into center field, but this is playable, and it will be caught, and that's the first out of this bottom of the 4th inning. Got lucky there. May have gotten away with a pitch there. But he's got such an uppercut.
Yeah. Whatever they call now, that launch angle idea.
Yeah.
He's got that. And, he hit a home run in, game 2, I believe it was, and it was a sky shot. And he just picked it off the ground, and there goes that. I guess we're going to do that. If you're going to pitch from the windup. Look, he's like, I'm sorry.
I think when you're on the wrong side of a 12-0 deficit, sometimes you're the concentration level, as this one's popped up to the pitcher, and this should be out number 2.
You got these murderers that are up there hitting. Everybody's got to be scared about that. He just wants to throw strikes, and he's intimidated by who's in front of him and forgets everything else around him, I guess.
Well, that was about as easy of a stolen base as Smith will ever have.
Oh, yeah.
He was literally 2/3 of the way there, and the pitcher still had the ball in his hand. So a 12-0 lead here. Chambers homered back in game 1 of our doubleheader and takes outside ball 1. That was in the final inning. Yeah, the Las Vegas Dirtbags ran out of time.
Yep, they did. Too bad I wasn't earlier for them.
And this one's rocketed to center. Center fielder got turned around, and it's over his head. That's going to plate the 13th run of the game for Denver. And Chambers has an RBI double.
Good time to get hot, Chris. Swinging a nice bat right now.
Oops. So Smith scores. Shawn Smith. 2 out. Redinger had a two-run single back in that big 2nd inning. And he hits a long drive. That ball is tattooed. The center fielder's back to get it, and that will take care of Denver here in the 4th. They get another run. They lead 13-0, and we'll have more from Las Vegas. The Lights. Mike, have you partaked in any of the games down there?
Oh, yeah, we played a little blackjack and some craps last night at the hotel. We had a good time. We met all down in the lobby bar and had a good time playing around with the kids. We go to bed early. They stay up late,
Oh yeah. Well, you get to a certain age, you just can't do it anymore.
Well, thank God our first game got moved back to 1, so us old guys got to stay out a little later last night.
Well,
it's harder to recover. You get those cramps. Got to eat bananas, drink water.
Yeah.
It's not like the old days where you could just go out and play all day long.
Well, we're between innings here as we're heading to the top of the 5th inning. And Mike Dole, the first baseman for the Denver Royals, up here in our broadcast booth. I'm wondering where the heater is.
Yeah, right.
It's starting to get a little chilly out here.
It is getting a little cold. The wind's making it a little brisk.
So we got a new pitcher on the mound, Mitch Lampson, who just signed with Winnipeg of the American Association. And have you had a chance to talk to him about it, or?
I haven't. This is the first time I've met him. He's new to me on this team. There's a couple new guys I've got to play with this tourney, as opposed to some of the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a mixed bag. Brian picks up these guys. They go to Florida. They go play, and he finds another young stud, and he puts them on our squad. So it's good to get to meet all these guys. Half the infield. Well, I haven't played with Farias yet, and I hadn't played with Rappas yet. But I know they played with these guys a few times. I just played with the guys the first late September, I believe, for the Fall Classic out there in Arizona. And so some of these guys I know played with the Rocky Mountain Royals, or what is it? Rocky Mountain Royals? The Rocky Mountain Royals after we were there. So some of these guys played with those guys. They played with Sloan and Chambers, and a couple guys played on the Giants, I think, in the Martin Luther King tournament out in Palm Springs. So I got to meet a couple of them off the field. But some of these guys is first time playing with them. But we all meld pretty good. We have good team camaraderie. We gel good. We've been playing good defense. A couple mishaps here and there, but this happens when we're up by 28-1. Sometimes it's hard to concentrate and stay focused.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's a strong core team here. Some of the pitchers are new to me, but as long as they throw strikes right.
Absolutely. Mitch delivers. A pretty good fastball there. Spotting that one well. Mitch played with Seth and Jarvis at ASU.
Oh, Did not know that.
So another little
trivia.
Yep.
You might know more than I do about some of them.
Mitch, Jordan Scott, Kyle Redinger all played in the Astros organization. Yeah. And you went up against the left-hander in that last game, and he had played for him also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I talked to Kyle a little bit when we first met, because I was with that Astros organization in the mid-'90s.
Oh, really?
But so Kyle would talk to me about guys, and I'm like, look, bro, I don't remember any of those guys. I mean, I'm old. So, but it's pretty cool that he talks about it a little bit. Kyle does to me. And the other guys everybody's ho-hum about most of it.
That's another Denver Royals strikeout, and
that was a sweet pitch.
It certainly was, and it had some mustard behind it. Behind it, on top, below it.
With some movement.
And movement, absolutely. He just struck out their cleanup hitter. This is an undefeated team, so I mean, this is no slouch.
Well, and I know the Gabe who started the game, he plays with me actually in my league in San Diego. Mm-hmm. And I know a couple of these guys play in the semi-pro league in Tijuana in Mexico, the Liga Amateur. So that's I think that's what the ABL is, Amateur Baseball League, I believe. So a couple of those guys, and it's out of the Adrian Gonzalez's family's academy down there.
Oh, okay.
In TJ, so the Gonzalez Foundation. I was actually teammates with David, the oldest brother, in high school, and then I used to play for his dad. His dad used to own the Potros down there, so we would play when we were in college ages and go down and play down there. So I've seen a couple of these kids that are on this other team from San Diego, and they're not bad, man. I mean, they play good ball. They have good baseball IQ, but I think they're just a little outmatched right now. I know that they said that they're low on pitching when they walked up today, but when the guys are hitting at 400 feet, it doesn't matter who's up there on the mound.
Well, Gabe Rivera pitched 14 innings yesterday. I don't think you were up here when we mentioned that.
No,
but
he had mentioned to me, because he came and gave me a hug walking up, and he's like, I was like, you pitching today? And he's like, yeah, I pitched a full game yesterday. And he kind of commented on me, like, take it easy on me. I said, man, I'm not even hitting, and you're going to get lit up.
Well, unfortunately for him, he did.
Yep.
Well, Mitch has just struck out the second batter that he has faced. Do we have a radar gun on him?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'd like to know what that last pitch was, because that was – I mean, I barely saw the pitch.
That's just unfair right there. That guy doesn't want any part of that pitch. It's moving away from him. He doesn't want to break off his bat.
This is Garcia at the plate. 13-0 Denver. Looks like you guys are going to advance to a championship game. You got Zeke De Leon. Now, before we talk about Zeke, because he's one of our favorite people up here that we've had.
My man.
Yeah. I mean, he is so much fun. Okay, we're going to keep it right here. We'll zoom in. That is the third time today that Royal pitching has struck out the side. So a good job by Mitch as he heads back to the dugout. Now, you said you were in the Astros organization in the 90s. Now, were you a first baseman?
No, I was a third baseman. I actually came out of high school as a shortstop. And when I went to junior college, I kind of hit my growth spurt, and they moved me over to first. So we had a bunch of shortstops throughout the infield. And we were getting ready to go to the Final Four for states my sophomore year, and the University of Kansas scout happened to come to our workout that we were doing for like a local TV spot for, KUSI News was doing it, and so they were doing a little sports deal. So we did our infield routine, for the TV, and the scout mentioned to my coach, he goes, "Your first baseman plays first like a shortstop." He said, "Well, that's because that's what he is." He's like, "We moved him over there because he was tall." So he's like, "Well, would you think he'd be interested in playing third for us?" And he's like, "He'll play any position you want." So I signed and went over there. Got drafted in late rounds my junior year, but being a San Diego kid, going and playing in the Midwest was a whole different ball of wax with snow on the ground and ground balls in the auxiliary gym and whatnot. So
yep.
So I'd sign that piece of paper.
I remember those days.
I signed that piece of paper and got out of there. So I went and played my years and got released, and played a little bit in Mexico for a little bit, and then called it a day. Got a grown-up job, but then I started playing adult baseball again, and I got lucky to hook on with these guys, and
Well, and the difference with this organization than your average Msbl team that goes down to Phoenix for the World Series, I mean, this organization is actually almost like a placement.
Yes.
It's like a placement for the younger guys to continue their baseball career.
Well, I think from last year, I think we had 6 guys get picked up with teams, indie ball, some organizations,
Mm-hmm.
and it really feels differently. It's not like some of these other teams that everybody goes and pays their money to hang out with their friends on Sunday and go to the bar afterwards. These guys want to play, they want to impress people, and they do it. And Brian gives us that vessel to do it, and these guys love it, and it's good, And they're very thankful. They're very polite young men, and so everything's really good for them, and they get to do a great job, and they don't have to worry about doing anything but play baseball, and if that's what they want to do, this is a great avenue for them to do it. Get some exposure. I mean, these kids are amazing. I mean, you've watched them, a lot of these guys through the Arizona tournament and here. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
It really is. I think the whole organization, and then just in interactions with. I haven't talked to everybody, but I think just the interactions with the ones I've met, it's been a lot. It's a lot of fun. I mean, it really is.
It's really great. I mean, I'm almost 45 now, and so I get to hang out with these kids at 22, 25 years old, and I can hang and play away. I'm proud of my defense. Sometimes I get a little struggle at the plate, but I don't get to see some of this quality pitching. I mean, these guys are thumbing it up here right now because they're tired, but.
Here's a ground ball and right through the second baseman. That is the 5th error committed by this team, and heading to second, and he is in, and that's David Walker. I don't know now, did that ball take a bad hop?
I couldn't tell. It looked like it was waist high for him, so I don't know if he just didn't play it right. It didn't look like a bad hop to me.
Okay.
It's hit okay, but didn't look anything weird to me. The infielder's feet didn't move funny, so I don't think it really took a bad hop. I think he just whiffed it. There's my man, Ben.
And Ben hits one down the line, but foul. He's had a good day,
yes.
Both the earlier game, the last game of round robin.
Yeah, well, me and Benny went and played in the Palm Springs tournament on Martin Luther King weekend. His first and last at bat were jacks.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Here's a fly ball.
Job done right there.
Absolutely. That'll make it 14-0, and the center fielder throwing to the correct base. We saw one outfielder earlier today tried to throw a guy out from deep center field at third. They were second and third. I can't remember who it was. The run obviously scored, and then the runner from second moved to third because he moved to second because he didn't throw back behind that lead runner. So
that must have been that long inning where everybody lost their marbles.
It might have been. Here's a shot out into left. This could be trouble, and it's going to hold up. And the left fielder makes the play 2 down. They got some good outfielders on this San Diego team.
Yeah, like I said, they're they play down in San Diego quite a bit. We get good weather, so we play year round. So they got some decent baseball IQ guys on that other team there. But you're gonna have to make plays if we're gonna keep putting the ball in play that way.
I didn't catch who that last batter was.
Ricky Reeves. Pretty
okay.
Ricky.
All right. Ricky pitched 4 innings in the first game, and he flied out to left field. So we've had Farias reached on an E6. Walker reached on an E4. And now Piazza, who had a home run, to lead off the home half of the first inning for Denver. He also had a 2-run single. He's 2 for 3, 3 RBIs, 2 runs scored. In Italy, they call it a piazza.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben had a sac fly for the second time today.
Ben hit it to center.
Yeah. And I got 14-0 right now. We'll have to change it on our scoreboard. We get Price Waterhouse out here to tally up all the runs that you guys are scoring.
We're going to audit us.
Yeah, the official accountant of Denver Royals baseball. We're kidding.
Well, in the first 2 games, I think we scored 42 runs total, 28 and 14, I believe. And I was first base coach for all of them, so my left arm's sore from waving those dudes around all day.
You outscored your opponents 42-4.
Yeah.
And now with this game, in the 4 games, that's foul. 65-8.
That's crazy. That's like a video game.
Mm-hmm. Bottom half of the 5th inning, all Denver. They're going to advance to the 18 and over championship game. That'll be, well, we'll have it here on APN tomorrow. That's ball 4. And Dom's been on base 3 of the 4 times. So runners are at first and second, 2 out. Phil batting for the 4th time. He's looking for his first hit. And here's a ball hit into left field, a base hit. They're going to hold the runner at third base, and the bases are loaded. And I'll tell you, you don't want to be the only guy not to get a base hit in a game like this.
Yeah, well, you called it right off the bat. You said he hadn't got a hit, so Murphy's Law is going to get one.
So the bases are loaded with 2 out, and looks like Jarvis is going to bat for Smith. So a walk to Piazza, a single, Trappist, and now Jarvis. It's the first time I think he's batted today. Here's a rocket. Base hit, 1 run is in, 2 runs are going to score. And how about that? Jarvis coming off the bench for the Royals, and he delivers one of the hardest hit balls we've seen today.
We were joking with him because he brought Dom Piazza with him to be his catcher. And so we were joking that we were going to cut Jarvis and keep Dom because Dom's hot. And Jarvis like, you guys don't even know that I'm the best hitter on the team. And I'm like, all right, well, there you go. You got a chance to show it on TV, Jarvis. I'm sure we'll hear about that at the bar all day tonight.
And here's Sloan with a high fly ball to center field, and that will be caught. And that will retire the side, but not before they get a few more runs and lead, 16-0. And we'll take a quick timeout here. It's all Denver, and they are looking to advance to the 18 and over championship game. All right, we're back here from Burkholder Field. We're in actually Henderson, but this is the 2019 MSBL Las Vegas Kickoff Classic. Well, it's been a dominant pitch game so far by the Royals, and here is the second inning of work for Mike Lampson, who just signed with Winnipeg of the American Association. Congratulations to the Southpawer. Throwing about, topping out kind of around 85, maybe 86. He had struck out the side in the last inning. He is in relief of Seth Blair, who I guess is not in line for the win. He only went 4 innings, but struck out 9 and pitched 1-hit shutout baseball. And that is strike 3 call. Late call by the umpire, but it's strike 3, and Mitch looks awfully impressive.
Yeah, tough to go from 95 on the right side and then some guy throwing some great movement from the left side.
Get a close-up look at the Southpawer. So 1 down, Martinez retired. Here's Perez. So 13 strikeouts for Royals pitching so far.
It's tough, man. And then we put who's gonna have? Are we gonna have more runs or strikeouts? That's the bet in the dugout right now.
And this is only the second base hit of the ball game, only the second runner of the game. And let's see if San Diego can make some noise here. Down 16-0. Or is it 17? What do we got? They scored 4 times in the 6th. Actually, I think we might have cheated you guys a run.
Let's see if we can get a double play ball here.
Big swing and a miss. 0-1 on Ramos.
Got a lot of good tail movement on his fastball right now, and those guys have no shot. He just told the catcher.
Well, I thought you guys got a big double play in our earlier game today. I know it was early. It was in the first inning. But Arturo was struggling. That's another strikeout.
Yeah, I don't know what Artie's there's a big hole out in the mound. I don't know if it's gotten any better from this morning, but I know he was leaving his balls up, and then he was trying to get down, and he was spiking, and he's kind of all over. It's unfortunate. He's throwing pretty decent velocity-wise, but he just couldn't kind of find the plate, and was unlucky.
So 2 down, runner at first. Here's Gabe Rivera. This is your friend.
Yep.
Fouled that one straight off. He looked like he had pretty good cut at that one. And now he's walking. I don't know what he's doing or where is he going?
Who knows? He's a pitcher, man. You never know about those guys. He's a funny fella. On Saturdays, he's one of the fan favorites.
Well, he was a little tardy on that one, but got some good wood on it. 0-2. Mitch has a chance to strike out the side for the second inning that he has worked. The 2-strike pitch, and he comes back with a slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gabe Rivera. This is the gentleman who started the game on the mound for San Diego. He went 1 1/3 inning and gave up just a few runs. We don't need to give the line score, I don't think. He struck him out swinging. All Mitch has done is face 7, struck out 6. He has struck out the side in back-to-back innings, and it's all Denver. We're trying to figure out if it's 16 or 17 to nothing, but one thing is for sure, this team's heading to the finals. Okay, we're back here from Burkholder Field, and well, when we were in the timeout, the umpires called the game, and our final score here is 17 to nothing. Seth Blair, the starting pitcher for Denver, went the front 4. He struck out 9, gave up just 1 hit, 2 innings of relief for the Southpawler, who, congratulations to him, just signed with Winnipeg of the American Association, and I'm talking about Mitch Lampson. And all he did was strike out the side both innings that he worked. He did give up a base hit, but all in all, a 17-run output for Denver. It was just an outstanding job by both the offense and the defense. 3 home runs in the game, and our final score here from Henderson, Nevada, 17 to nothing, Denver. Do we want to wrap this up, or do we want to talk with anyone after the game? Okay. So we're going to keep it right here, folks, and we're going to try to speak to maybe 1 or 2 players. We're going to try to get Ed Dressel up here and talk about the Denver Royals organization, and looking forward to tomorrow. We're going to see our good friend Zeke DeLeon. He'll be the starting pitcher, the Southpawer for the Denver Royals, and we'll figure out who they'll be playing probably pretty soon here. But again, they advanced to the finals of this 2019 Las Vegas Kickoff Classic of the Men's Senior Baseball League. And stay with us. We're going to chat with 1 or 2 here in just a moment. Yeah. Ed Dressel is now with us, the manager of this 4-0 undefeated Denver Royals team. And I'll tell you what, you got to be impressed with the offense in this tournament. I mean, you guys have outscored your opponents like 1,000,000,000, I think. And now you're in the championship tomorrow. You got Zeke De Leon going, one of our favorites. He gave me $20 to say that, by the way. But, how do you feel going into tomorrow? Because you might have a little overconfidence going on.
The best thing about doing this for as long as I have is you kind of learn to play these tournaments all the way through. But you build with momentum, right? Zeke's been a long-time closer for me. He brings in a breath of experience and a style of pitching that I think will help bring the team and dominate for us. Hitting wise, this is the guys get to see a lot of pitching, right? A lot of different styles of pitching, and I think that's going to be to our plus as well tomorrow. But I'll never let my team get ahead of themselves. Every game is pitch by pitch and out by out. So we'll go in with what we got and see what we can do.
Okay. So you're playing. Do you know who you're playing and where?
I think that's still birthing. The two top teams, the two best teams, are playing each other right now, so that'll seed out.
Okay.
Yep.
So everybody will have to tune in tomorrow to the Denver Royals baseball YouTube
Please
channel.
Do. Absolutely. Should pose to be a great game.
Yeah, we'll have it live here on APN, and so we got Zeke going tomorrow. Are we looking at maybe the same lineup that we saw today?
Probably going to see the same lineup. Again, they've been performing all tournament for us, and again, without fail, should be a good hitting game, I hope. So.
And before we let you go, of course, if you guys win tomorrow, we'll be right back here doing this again. But talk about the Denver Royals, this organization, and the opportunities they provide.
Honestly, this is Brian Underhill. Can't say enough about the guy. I've been with him for many years now, and it's a tribute to what he does. He puts a lot of effort into every thoughtful move that he makes with the team, their community outreach, what they do for youth teams. It's really a big part of the core, I think, of the dynamic of what he does. All the guys here, including myself, step up for that reason, right? We want to be out there for the community and promote good baseball. The teams he puts together, again, it's a testament of the guys that he knows and creates relationships with over the years, and those guys know how fun it is to play with us, and they bring their guys along, and so it just builds. But really, it is about the dynamic of being out there for the game, right? I mean, this is about baseball and doing the right thing, and I've always been about that as long as I played the game, and that's why I'm glad to be a part of this organization with him as well.
Okay. Well, again, congratulations. I think the final tally was 17-0.
Yes, sir.
And we will see you championship Monday, mañana.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope that was okay.
That was great.
Have a great night.
You
Thank
too.
you for all you do.
Hey.